Good evening, you're now with me, Razi Ahmad, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim says the move by Petronas to trim its workforce involves mostly contract workers. Sarawa strengthens its position as a clean energy leader in Southeast Asia by sharing its energy vision and roadmap at EEC 2025 in Aberdeen, Scotland. And in world news, US President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's unlikely political marriage explodes in a fiery public divorce. The move by Petronas to trim its workforce involves mostly contract workers. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim confirmed this after he was asked to comment on reports that Petronas would cut about 5,000 employees as part of a right-sizing process. Yesterday, Petronas President and CEO Tengku Tan Sri Muhammad Taufik Tengku Aziz was reported to have said that Petronas would cut about 10% of its workforce as part of the National Oil and Gas Company's right-sizing and restructuring process. Tengku Muhammad Taufik also denied that the state-owned company would exit its business in Canada. Petronas had previously stated that it needs to right-size its workforce to ensure the company's sustainability in the decades to come. Petronas has nearly 50,000 employees, according to its website. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim confirmed that he had contacted his counterpart in Thailand, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, regarding the border dispute between Thailand and Cambodia. Anwar said that as the ASEAN chair, Malaysia has taken note of developments in both countries in light of recent reports of a Cambodian soldier's death. He said this to reporters after performing Friday prayers at Surau Al-Ikhwan Desa Pinggiran Putra earlier today. On May 28th, Thai and Cambodian troops were involved in a brief skirmish in Thailand's Ubon Ratchathani province and Cambodia's Preah Vihear province, which reportedly resulted in the death of a Cambodian soldier. Cambodia has since announced its intention to bring the border dispute to the International Court of Justice. Motor vehicle license LKM renewals for private vehicles in Sabah and Sarawa can be done via Road Transport Department or JPJ kiosks starting today. In a statement, JPJ announced that this facility will be available at 41 JPJ kiosks, 21 in Sabah and 20 in Sarawak, specifically for individual private vehicles registered from the year 2020 onwards. For individual private vehicles registered before 2020, owners or their representatives can still renew their LKM at JPJ counters. In addition, LKM renewal can also be done via the MyJPJ app, JPJ's MySika portal, JPJ mobile counters, and JPJ's strategic partners. JPJ also advised vehicle owners to ensure that their vehicle insurance coverage is valid and active before proceeding with LKM renewal, as the system will automatically verify this information during the transaction at the JPJ kiosks. This initiative is part of JPJ's ongoing efforts to enhance service efficiency and ease public transactions through the digitalization of JPJ services. Sarawa has once again strengthened its position as a clean energy leader in Southeast Asia by sharing its strategic vision and energy roadmap at the Energy Export Conference EEC 2025 held in Aberdeen, United Kingdom. Sarawak Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hipni, in a statement said that strong policies, continued investment in sustainable innovation, and close regional cooperation are the key pillars driving the state's comprehensive and sustainable energy transition. He said Sarawak takes pride in being a pioneer in clean energy development within ASEAN. He added that Sarawak's integrated strategy involves 4 strategic energy hubs: renewable energy, natural gas, carbon capture and storage (CCS), and hydrogen, each designed to strengthen the state's resilience and support sustainable growth. More than 70% of Sarawak's electricity is currently generated from hydropower, placing the state on track to further expand its renewable energy capacity by the year 2030 and 2035. He stressed that Sarawak is also reinforcing its role as the battery of ASEAN by actively exporting energy to West Kalimantan, Brunei, Sabah, and soon Singapore. Meanwhile, Sarawak Deputy State Secretary Economic Planning and Development, Datuk Sri Dr. Muhammad Abdullah Zaidel, said that global platforms such as EEC play a vital role in creating a resilient energy ecosystem. At the conference, Sarawak Energy Berhad shared its long-term sustainability agenda and cross-border grid integration plan, while SEDC Energy, a subsidiary of the Sarawak Economic Development Corporation, highlighted its ongoing collaborations with Japanese and South Korean partners to develop ammonia and hydrogen export capacity. Back on TVS Nightline, Haraya Adha should serve as a moment of heartfelt reflection on the meaning of sacrifice in the context of humanity and unity. National Unity Minister Dato' Aaron Agodagang said the celebration is not just about the ritual of sacrifice, but also a symbol of sacrifice, sincerity, and solidarity. In a Facebook post today, he said these values are vital in building a peaceful and harmonious nation. Aaron also extended Hari Raya Adha greetings to all Muslims in the country. Muslims in Malaysia will celebrate Eid al-Adha tomorrow. In other news, Batik Air Malaysia today launched direct flights from Kuala Lumpur to Dili, Timor-Leste, becoming the first national airline to offer the route. Batik Air CEO Dato' Chandran Ramamurthy said the airline is confident that the service will serve as a catalyst to further strengthen existing cooperation between the two countries. Flight OD372 departed from Terminal 1 of Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 2 a.m. and landed safely at Presidente Nicolau Lobato International Airport at 7:30 a.m. local time. Also on board the flight was Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh and her delegation, who were welcomed upon arrival by the Director of Tourism at the Ministry of Tourism and Environment of Timor-Leste, Antonio da Silva, and Malaysia's Ambassador to Timor-Leste, Dato' Amarjit Singh. Donald Trump's and Elon Musk's unlikely political marriage exploded in a fiery public divorce on Thursday, with the U.S. president threatening to strip the billionaire of his huge government contracts in revenge. Trump said that he was very disappointed after his former aide and top donor criticized his big, beautiful spending bill before Congress. The pair then hurled insults at each other on social media, with Musk even posting that Trump was referenced in government documents on disgraced financier and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The row could have major political and economic fallout, as shares in Musk's Tesla car company plunged and the South African-born tech tycoon vowed that he would end a critical U.S. spaceship program. Speculation had long swirled that the relationship between the world's richest person and his most powerful could not last long. But the speed of the meltdown took Washington by surprise.
I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best things. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Musk hit back in real time on X, saying the Republican would not have won the 2024 election without him and slamming Trump for ingratitude. As the spat got increasingly vindictive, Musk also posted that Trump is in the Epstein files, referring to U.S. government documents on Epstein, whose 2019 jail cell suicide while awaiting trial sparked a major conspiracy theory. Trump and Musk's whirlwind relationship had initially blossomed, with the president backing the Department of Government Efficiency's cost-cutting rampage through the U.S. government, and the tycoon sleeping over at the White House and traveling on Air Force One. But the 53-year-old ultimately lasted just 4 months on the job, becoming increasingly disillusioned with the slow pace of change and clashing with some of Trump's cabinet members. Washington will now intently watch the fallout from the feud. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu admitted that Israel is supporting an armed group in Gaza that opposes the militant group Hamas, following comments by a former minister that Israel had transferred weapons to it. Israeli and Palestinian media have reported that the group Israel has been working with is part of a local Bedouin tribe led by Yasser Abu Shabab. The European Council on Foreign Relations think tank describes Abu Shabab as the leader of a criminal gang operating in the Rafah area that is widely accused of looting aid trucks. An expert on Palestinian affairs at the Moshe Dayan Center, Michael Milstein, said that the Abu Shabab clan was part of a Bedouin tribe that spans across the border between Gaza and Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. Some of the tribe's members, he said, were involved in all kinds of criminal activities, drug smuggling, and more. Milstein said that Abu Shabab had spent time in prison in Gaza and that his clan chiefs had recently denounced him as an Israeli collaborator and a gangster. Israel regularly accuses Hamas, with which it has been at war with for nearly 20 months, of looting aid convoys in Gaza. Hamas said the group had chosen betrayal and theft as their path and called on all civilians to oppose them. Hamas said it had evidence of clear coordination between the looting gangs, collaborators with the Israeli occupation, and the enemy army itself in the looting of aid and the fabrication of humanitarian crises that deepen the suffering of Palestinians. Indonesia yesterday began rolling out a 24.44 trillion rupiah stimulus package, or about 6.4 billion ringgit, to boost consumer activity after the country posted its lowest growth in more than 3 years in the first quarter. The archipelago nation's economy grew 4.87% from a year earlier in the first 3 months of 2025, a sluggish rate for the developing country last seen during the COVID-19 pandemic in mid-2021. President Prabowo Subianto has drawn criticism for his economic policies, including slashing 310 trillion rupiah or 80 billion ringgit from the government budget to fund a new sovereign wealth fund. The new stimulus measures include discounts for train, plane and ferry tickets, as well as toll subsidies to boost tourism. The government will also disburse additional social aid while giving cash transfers to low-income workers and discounts on unemployment insurance premiums. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati said the package would spur economic activity with the incentives in force during the school holidays. The Indonesian economy has been roiled by U.S. President Donald Trump's threatened 32% tariffs, among Asia's highest. And those were the updates for this evening. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching and have a good night.